I'd just like to welcome everybody to our webinar. I'm going to give it a minute or two. I see people are logging in quite rapidly before we start. So please just be patient because there are a lot of people that I think probably are still suffering from the IT glitch that Microsoft had yesterday across the country. So let's just give it a minute and then we'll do the introductions and start our session. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to our first quarterly webinar hosted by NMG Consulting. And I think I've spoken to a lot of you about the wellness of your staff. And I think this session specifically is to help you and your staff look after their wellness. We see that the World Health Organization says that mental well-being is the fastest growing disease across the world. So I think that the support that employees can get from employers playing a more and more important role in South Africa at the moment, and as I said, across the world. So I'd like to welcome Savannah Abramovitz, who's a qualified nurse, but she's going to give a bit of more background regarding herself. And I've heard some of the points that she wants to address, and I think they're very important and also very informative. So Savannah, over to you and welcome. And please, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, just post them in the chat box and your question might be answered throughout the presentation. If it's not answered, Savannah will try and answer it at the end. If we don't get to all the questions, we've noted them down and we'll do a Q&A, which will respond to everybody who attended today's session. Thank you very much, Savannah, and thanks. We're looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you so much, Gary, and thank you so much for the warm welcome into today's session. One that is very near and dear to my heart. So I've actually retitled this workshop called The Inspiration Station, Achievable Ways to Stay Inspired in 2024. So why? Why did I change it? In the pursuit of our goals and aspirations, the driving force behind our actions often lies in the concept of motivation. Yet what if we were to shift our perspective and focus not on mere motivation alone, but on something deeper, more enduring, and profoundly impactful? Inspiration, the catalyst that ignites our passion, fuels our creativity, and propels us towards meaningful achievements. As Simon Sinek, an acclaimed author and motivational speaker, eloquently says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. In essence, Sinek implores, to look beyond the surface level of motivation and delve, into the profound realm of inspiration. Unlike motivation, which may wane with time or external circumstances, inspiration emanates from a place of purpose, value, and intrinsic desire. So in this workshop, we'll explore the transformative power of inspiration, how it transcends the boundaries of conventional motivation, empowers individuals to realize their true potential, and cultivates a sense of fulfillment that extends far beyond mere achievement, really. So we're going to, embark on this journey to uncover the impact of inspiration in shaping our lives, our endeavors, and our collective future. So these are some of the topics we'll be covering, and I'm going to give an introduction as to who I am and why I'm so passionate about this topic. But we'll talk about these as we progress through the slide, and we'll do a little bit of desk yoga as well, which is always quite fun. So for those of you that haven't been a part of any of my sessions before, my name is Savannah, and I qualified as a registered staff nurse in 2015, and then went on to finish the specialities you see listed in the slide. I've worked with NMG and One Stop Wellness since really the beginning in many different areas and on many different workshops, and it really just evolved quite organically from being primarily physical health based. And then it evolved during COVID to be more mental health oriented because I have personal experience. My father's got bipolar type 1. And, Dr. Kylie was looking for someone who could talk about, the mental health part of it from a knowledge base or theoretical base, but they were also looking for someone who had personal experience. And I just happened to be that person. So I asked my dad if I could have this conversation about his condition and the personal struggles that we had along the way. And he was very open to it and very excited by the idea because it all revolved around eliminating stigma. So I'm incredibly passionate about health education and prevention of illness and disease. And I've been in the wellness environment for, goodness, like about 7+ years now. And based on many experiences in the field of preventable healthcare, my ultimate goal is to eliminate fear. And that's where inspiration comes from, right? And it really just boils down to, we can motivate people through, providing many different kinds of incentives. But if that person is not intrinsically inspired to make a change for themselves, it's not going to happen, really. And then what happens then if we don't achieve those, set out endeavors? We elicit secondary emotions of shame and guilt and embarrassment for not showing up for others, whereas actually we're not showing up for ourselves. So these workshops are really invaluable in making a difference and creating just that awareness. If that's all I can do today is just put it on your radar, then I feel that, I'm making one closer step in that general direction. So let's talk about inspiration and motivation just for a hot second. So inspiration and motivation are often used interchangeably, but they represent distinct concepts with different implications and effects on behavior. Inspiration is a deeply internalized and enduring source of enthusiasm and passion. It stems from a sense of purpose, values, and intrinsic desires. Inspired individuals are driven by a compelling vision or idea that resonates with their beliefs and aspirations. Inspiration fuels creativity as well. It fuels innovation and a sense of meaning and fulfillment in one's pursuits. So it's really, when I say it fuels creativity and innovation, if we'll look at what motivation does as well. But when we start, thinking of problem solving and when we are driven by a force to want to problem solve, that inspiration to want to make a difference with our own bodies, with our own mindsets, it's fueled by a different kind of, for lack of a better way of putting it, chutzpah. It's fueled by a different kind of vuma at the back there. So a sense of meaning and fulfillment in one's pursuits. It is sustainable and resilient. We'll talk about resilience as well. Persisting even in the face of challenges or setbacks, which are inevitable. We are not immune to obstacles and stress and unexpected twists and turns of events. So when we're talking about inspiration, it's, when the driving force is so strong, we know that the end goal is so important to us that even if we have our set kind of 2 months, 1 year, 3-year goals, if we're unable to do it because of an unexpected traumatic event, we're not weighing so heavily on ourselves in that regard because we know what the end goal is. And the time frame, is important, of course, but we need to take into account the unexpected twists and turns that life can sometimes bring us. Inspired individuals are not just motivated to achieve specific goals. They are driven by a higher purpose or calling that guides their actions and shapes their identity. And then we've got motivation, on the other hand, is often externally driven and can be more transient in nature, of course. Motivation refers to the desire or willingness to take action towards achieving a particular goal or outcome. It can be influenced by external factors such as rewards or incentives or external pressure as well. So motivation may fluctuate depending on circumstances, and it may diminish over time if not sustained by a strong underlying purpose or intrinsic drive. So while motivation can be effective in initiating action, absolutely, it may lack the depth and sustainability of inspiration. Might I just insert New Year's resolution there on the sideline, like just subtly there. We come in very motivated, but oftentimes it's not really sustainable if the driving force is not in the correct standing. So we could be motivated, another example, to lose weight, right? So we get on all different kind of fad diets. But if we're inspired to change our lifestyle habits, we have a completely different, long-standing and more sustainable approach to healthy body versus just weight loss in itself. So inspiration taps into the deeper well springs of purpose and passion, guiding individuals towards meaningful endeavors and sustained fulfillment, really, while motivation is valuable in initiating action, may lack the depth and resilience of inspiration. So I just wanted us to understand those concepts, even though, of course, the whole conversation is about inspiration and motivation collectively. All right. So how do we stay inspired? Ways to stay inspired. Staying inspired is essential for maintaining enthusiasm, motivation, and sense of purpose in life. So we want to clarify our values and our purpose. We want to reflect on our core values, beliefs, and aspirations. Identify what matters most to you and what brings you a sense of meaning and fulfillment. Align your goals and activities with your values and purpose to stay inspired and motivated. Set inspiring goals. Define clear, meaningful goals that excite and challenge you. Set both short-term and long-term goals that align with your values and aspirations. You want to visualize your goals regularly and remind yourself of the impact that they will have on your life as well as the lives of others. Surround yourself with inspiration. When we surround ourselves with people or environments and resources that inspire and uplift us, we seek out that feeling. We seek out positive role models and mentors and peers who embody qualities of achievements that we admire. So, taking time when we're reflecting about, who inspires you, why do they inspire you? You can even categorize it into different categories. Someone who is great with family, who in your life inspires you as someone that you look up to, as a sense of, this person does family really good, or this person is such a great leader, or this person is such a great community member. There are many different people that could be mentors and form part of our inspiration that's around us, and also beyond that, immerse yourself in inspiring books, movies, music, art, and nature that evoke feelings of inspiration and awe. Because oftentimes we'll be watching something and be like, oh, I really want to look like that. Or, or I really want to go and see that part of the world, or I really want to practice that particular instrument, for example. It's not just one part of us. We are dynamic. Humans are dynamic. We love novelty. We love learning things. We love absorbing things. We like nourishing ourselves. And our bodies reciprocate when we are excited about something. It evokes good hormones that promote a sense of motivation. The other one, practice gratitude. Cultivate an attitude of gratitude by focusing on the blessings and opportunities in your life. Regularly express gratitude for people, experiences, achievements that inspire and enrich us. Gratitude helps shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance, fostering feelings of inspiration and contentment. And that is really, where we, if we're feeling overwhelmed, the best thing is to think of a whole bunch of things that make us feel grateful. And there's Brene Brown often says the most vulnerable emotion that we have as humans is joy. And it's because we often love to dress rehearse tragedy. If the moment we feel joy, we dress rehearse tragedy. So an example that she gives is you're staring at your child, you're like, oh my goodness, I love my child so much. What if something bad happens to my child? So we tend to dress rehearse tragedy often. And she said those that are genuinely able to fully experience joy, instead of dress rehearsing tragedy, they practice gratitude. Seek new experiences. Step out of your comfort zone and explore new experiences, challenges, and opportunities. Embrace curiosity and a sense of adventure that you can pursue novel activities or interests. Like I said, the body loves novelty. get onto Duolingo, you know, try learning a new language, and set a little streak for yourself where you're like, okay, I'm going to dedicate 5 minutes a day to learning a completely new language. Learn Spanish or French or something. And it's so available and it's completely free of charge. Just one example. Trying new things can spark creativity, broaden your horizons, and reignite your passion for life. And when we're feeling in a creative space, we're feeling our ability to problem solve, our skills are enhanced at a completely new level when we can be creative in that space. And it can be really in the day-to-day. It doesn't need to be, you know, we can feel inspired in many parts of our lives, but when we're coming from a place of seeking new experiences and cultivating a sense of curiosity, we yearn for information. We are hungry for it. We are hungry for change. And so that's, you know, what leads on to nurturing creativity. Engage in creative activities that stimulate your imagination and fuel your passion, whether it's writing or painting or cooking, if you love being in the kitchen, trying new recipes, gardening, or any other form of creative expression. Find activities that allow you to tap into your creativity and express yourself authentically. And this is something that you can do with the family, like get some old magazines and newspapers out and do a inspiration board, you know, do something, draw on creativity things, because remember, as much as what we're having this workshop to help us and, you know, fuel our own motivation, the way we learn how to inspire ourselves is the way our children will learn how to inspire themselves. The way we deal with stress is the way our children will learn to deal with stress. It's the way our parents dealt with stress is the way we're dealing with it. So it really, it's an even bigger picture than just this workshop alone. It's things that you can really connect in terms of doing fun things with your family, and let go the judgments to self. You know, like if you get a whole bunch of watercolor paints and just be creative without judging yourself in the process of doing so. Practicing self-care, you know, prioritizing your physical, emotional, and mental well-being by practicing self-care. And I've got a few slides on self-care, which we'll go into in a bit more depth. Taking care of your body through regular, you know, nutritional eating and physical movement and adequate rest really is what reciprocates the energy that we're going. What we put in is what we get out. And it really is the art of reciprocity, but it doesn't need to be we don't need to build it up to being this huge thing, right? We can literally put on a cool song and just move our bodies for the duration of the song, which is generally not longer than 3 minutes. If we could move away from, you know, seeing exercise as being only a place of losing weight or a place of de-stressing, but rather a place of blood circulation, because when we're living sedentary lifestyles, we're not circulating the blood in our body, and the blood is literally the petrol that carries the nutrients to our different parts of our body. So if we're not moving our body, it's like if you don't start your car for a good while, you've got on holiday and you don't start your car, that battery is going to be pretty pop, if you ask me. So you have to get that car started every now and then, even if it's just for a little bit, to make sure that everything's clean and cleared out, right? Stay curious and learning. I've already touched on this, you know, maintaining a curious and open mindset by continuously learning and exploring new ideas and perspectives. You know, YouTube is incredible. It really is an incredible space to lean into. It's got a plethora of short videos of gaining information. You know, there is Dr. Gabor Mate, incredible you know, psychologist and psychiatrist who has tons of great work. Mel Robbins, tons of great work on anxiety. And I'll send some resources, you know, through to the team on what to lean into, because there really is some great content out there, and really cool things to learn. Celebrate your achievements, acknowledge and celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small. You know, Simon Sinek says the power of a to-do list, right? So he says sometimes he'll do the action and then write it down and tick it off when he gets home, because the act of ticking it off releases dopamine and serotonin in the brain, which is responsible for sense of self-worth and self-achievement. So we can, as much as we can trick our brains in the middle of the night to believing things that haven't quite happened, we can celebrate things that definitely have. So it really does boost our sense of confidence. And then lastly, connect with others. Cultivate meaningful connections and relationships with supportive friends, family members, and peers. Share your dreams and aspirations. Don't be shy to do that. Dreams, if we can share our dreams, we must really bring that into our culture is the ability to dream big, because we have these things that we want to do, but we don't voice them because, like, oh gosh, it's so silly, I could never achieve that, but we have to start making it a reality. We have to start putting these dreams in the front seat instead of it constantly being in the back seat. And yeah, challenges with others who understand and encourage you, collaborate, have accountability partners, share experiences. All of these things are really just so important. And then staying motivated, there are many similarities in terms of being inspired and being motivated. So they do overlap in many ways. But, I think the one thing that stands out is find your why, understand the underlying reasons behind your goals, connect emotionally with your goals. Simon Sinek actually has a wonderful book called Find Your Why. And I think the other one after that is called Start with Why. Sorry, Start with Why, not Find Your Why. And then the other one is called Finding Your Why. Bit of a mental block there. And then, yeah, break it down, make it manageable, create a plan. If you're a very structured person, because remember, we're all individual, and we approach our goals in different ways. It's not a stock standard for everyone. Some people are more creatively oriented. Some people are more, need the lists and more structure oriented. So it really depends on you as an individual person and what makes you tick. So I'm not going to go into all these in grave detail. I think the last one I just want to emphasize is remain flexible, stay flexible, be flexible, and willing to adapt your approach as needed. And I think that's where, inspiration and motivation can really work well together, because when we're inspired by something, the time frame that we want to achieve that for a very particular, and it ends up being a lot quicker than if we just stuck to a particular time frame. Okay, these are some of my favorite books that I always recommend. Who Moved My Cheese is so wonderful. It's literally the tiniest book that you can read in an hour. Actually, it says that it's a book you can read in an hour, which effects last a lifetime. And I've read it a few times, and it's just every time there's just something new to be gained from it. And it's all about dealing with change in your work and in your life, because that is inevitable. There's often going to be these little twists and turns, but how do you stay on track when these things happen? The Miracle Morning and The Body Keeps the Score, which is really a phenomenal book. So this is actually from The Miracle Morning. It's a Lifesavers, and basically it is one way to bring a sense of, what could I call it, routine into your day. And what's advised is you take a minute per each of these things. So essentially it's 6 minutes every morning. And you can slowly, increase that time if you feel it's needed. But a minute of silence, a minute to quiet your mind and block out the chatter through meditation or prayer or focused breathing, something that grounds you into the day. Affirmations. Tell yourself encouraging words to achieve goals. And there are many. You don't even have to come up with them on your own. There are many you can draw from online. So you can make your life easier that way. And you can stick them on mirrors. You can have them next to your bed. There are books on affirmations that you can read one every day. That's novel, that you can lean into. Visualization. Imagine yourself doing each thing you need to do for the day, and imagine what it feels like to succeed, and especially what it feels like to succeed. Exercise. You can literally hold a plank for 1 minute. You can do jumping jacks for 1 minute. You can touch your toes for 1 minute. You can dance for 1 minute. You can go for a walk around the block. Getting your blood and oxygen to flow to your brain is really important. And your body is going to want more. Reading. Fill your brain with positive thoughts and ideas to improve yourself. You can literally read 2 pages of The Miracle Morning or a page of Who Moved Your Cheese. And then scribing. Write a journal to process your thoughts and reflect on what you've achieved. Journaling is a way that you can explore self-reflection and explore yourself in a non-judgmental way, and also just as is. So it's really, it's a powerful tool when we know how to harness and use it. And there's ways, in so many different ways, to engage with it. Okay, sorry, I'm just minding the time here. Oh, come on. Okay, resilience and enhancing performance. Building resilience plays a crucial role in enhancing performance, both personally and in the workplace. Resilience refers to the ability to adapt and bounce back from adversity, setbacks, and challenges. So it's really important, with personal growth, what resilience does, it helps us emotionally regulate. It helps, manage our emotions effectively, enabling us to navigate stressful situations with composure and clarity. Optimism and positivity, of course, resilient individuals tend to maintain a positive outlook and optimism, because there's no challenge that's going to deter them from their goal. Adaptability, flexibility, allowing people to adjust to changing circumstances and navigating, transitions more effectively. Coping strategies as well, which we'll talk into in a few slides. Workplace performance. How does resilience affect us? It helps with stress management. It helps equip, individuals with the ability to manage workplace stress effectively, reducing the negative impact of stress on performance, health, and well-being. Problem-solving skills. It enhances our problem-solving skills and critical thinking ability, and then also teamwork and collaboration. Resilience fosters stronger interpersonal relationships and collaboration amongst team members. Adaptability, contributing to cohesive working environments. Leadership effectiveness, performance under pressure, and the list really does go on. So how do we build resilience? Resilience is not just a trait we're born with. It's a skill that can be cultivated and strengthened over time. So this could be part of your goal, or part of something that could motivate or inspire you to work on. And in terms of resilience, really does refer to our ability to bounce back from adversities. It's important to understand that resilience is not a fixed trait. Just like building physical strength through exercise, we can enhance our resilience muscle through various strategies and techniques. By investing in our resilience, we can become better equipped to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and perseverance, so that we can achieve those health goals. We can achieve those life goals. We need to have resilience as the foundation for that. So it cultivates a growth mindset. It embraces challenges as, to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. View setbacks as temporary setbacks rather than insurmountable obstacles. Focus on continuous improvement. So CPD, continual professional development. You want to be able to improve yourself. Finding meaning and purpose in change. Look for lessons to be learned in the midst of change. Reflect on how challenging experiences can contribute to personal growth and transformation. Identify values or goals that provide a sense of purpose and direction during times of uncertainty, which are inevitable. And when I refer to change, I mean, we're going to be changing from after this workshop. What we take in, we adapt, we digest, we process it to one degree or another, and then we eliminate that which doesn't work for us, and we absorb that which does. The body is a very symbolic thing. Developing problem-solving skills, break down complex problems into manageable steps, seek out creative solutions, practice self-compassion and acceptance, I think is such a big one. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, especially during, the times where things might feel a little bit more challenging. Embrace imperfections and recognize that setbacks are a natural part of the human experience as well. So when we normalize that process, we are just, able to just take that breath, because we are doing the best that we can with what we've got, right? Okay, so this is just a little short video.
Anxiety is literally nothing more than you.
Oh, no, sorry.
Anxiety is literally nothing more than you thinking about something in the future and thinking about it in a manner where it starts to sound an alarm in your body. First of all, if you catch yourself worrying, if you catch yourself out in the future catastrophizing, if you catch yourself in that, what if this, what if that, if you let your thoughts spin, it will spin you out of control and then you're going to start to feel anxious. And so you want to count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And one of the best, most effective things you can insert as a different pattern is this. What if it all works out? What if it all works out? What if I get on this plane and even though it's bumpy, it still lands and it all works out? Because you can't argue with that. If you can stabilize your thoughts, your body settles down and it doesn't escalate. So you're going to interrupt the worry, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you insert something else. You can also say this moment will pass. You can say, I can handle this, but you've got to interrupt those thoughts and insert something else.
I love Mel Robbins. She is brilliant, and I do advocate for going and checking out her YouTube page because she's got a plethora of really good stuff there. So, health goals and routine checkups, let's go into that for a bit. Being inspired to be healthy involves cultivating a mindset that prioritizes well-being, vitality, and longevity. So not the quick weight loss for the summer season. This is longevity and vitality and well-being we're talking about. So here are some strategies we'll talk into. Define your why. Okay, it's really important. Clarify your reasons for wanting to be healthy. Reflect on how optimal health aligns with your values, goals, and aspirations, whether it's to feel more energized, improve your quality of life, or to be there for your loved ones. Understanding your deeper motivations can fuel your inspiration and prioritize your health. Set inspiring health goals. Establish clear, specific health goals that excite and challenge you, whether it's improving your fitness level, eating a balanced diet, or reducing stress. Set goals that are meaningful and achievable. And visualize the positive impact that achieving these goals will have on your overall well-being. Hiccups. Educate yourself. Stay informed about the benefits of healthy lifestyle and the impact of nutrition, exercise, sleep, and stress management on your health. And that's really, part of the value of these workshops is we dive into these particular topics. But beyond that, when we are curious about something, we're more inspired by it. We want to share about it more. When we've read something that's really cool, we want people to know about it. So learn about the science behind healthy habits and empower yourself with knowledge to make informed choices about your health. It's really a personal journey. Find your passion for movement. Explore different forms of physical activity until you find something you truly enjoy. Try something new. Sometimes we're just bored. The body can get bored really quickly, and then we don't want to do it. So if there's something new that we're willing to explore, whether it's pickleball or basketball, or maybe we try a yoga class if we've never done that before, or whichever the case, there's so many different things. Hiking in nature, dancing, swimming, or dancing doesn't need to revolve only around weddings. We can move our body every single day. Music is really good. It's a really good motivator. We know that when we're hearing a good track and the beat drops, you can't help yourself but start to move, right? Find activities that bring joy and fulfillment, and cultivate, a love for movement is really important. Nourish your body with nutrient-rich foods. Embrace, it's what our bodies understand. Our bodies understand whole food. That's how we're made. It doesn't understand this highly processed thing. It doesn't know what to do with it. Our bodies are incredibly intelligent, and it tries to adapt to our ever-changing desires. But for the most part, our cells are equipped to deal with certain things in a certain manner. So when we're eating whole foods, our bodies know how to process that a lot easier than when we're eating processed things. So embrace a balanced and varied diet that nourishes your body and fuels your vitality. Make it colorful, make it interesting. Inspire your body to want to engage with the food, because then our brains know when we're full, because it's an experience, it's a full body sensory experience when we're eating. And that really does make it exciting and enjoyable for our bodies, and our bodies reciprocate as well. Like we get that warm and fuzzy feeling when we're eating something very lekker. Practice mindful eating, slow down and savor each bite. That really just revolves around what I've already said, pay attention to hunger and fullness cues. Ghrelin and leptin, two hormones that go out of whack if we're not sleeping well, we're not eating well. So leptin is responsible for satisfaction, and ghrelin is like a gremlin, is responsible for evoking hunger in our body. The only difference is it takes a while for leptin to release in the brain, and it's a very short time for ghrelin to release. So we end up overeating. And then, having a bad relationship with food because it makes us feel terrible when we're too full. So, when we understand how these two hormones work in the body, we eat slower so that leptin can catch up and be like, yo, I'm full, I'm satisfied. So that ghrelin is not taking the front seat and making us eat in all funny hours of the night. Prioritize rest and recovery. Recognize the importance of rest and recovery in supporting your overall health and well-being. When we push too hard, we can burn out and we can injure ourselves. So really finding a good, even if you want to go for that run, but you went for a run and you exercise, do something more slow. Do some yoga or stretches. Try and move your body every single day. It doesn't have to look exactly the same every day. You don't have to be pumping that iron every single day and hurting your shoulders and setting you back when you get an injury and you can't do it for 6 weeks, and then we're back to square one, right? Surround yourself with support. Again, commitment or accountability partners are always really quite nice. Someone who shares a goal with you, or someone who's inspired or inspires you to want to improve yourself. Celebrate your progress, absolutely, not with a pizza at the end of the week. Reward yourself with something healthy. But also don't be too hard on yourself as well. It's all about everything in moderation. It's not about cutting out the pizza completely, but don't have it wired in your mind that you're rewarding yourself with the pizza. Have the pizza. It's not the reward. It's because you want the pizza. Okay. Stay connected to your vision. Continuously remind yourself of your vision or optimal health and vitality. Visualize yourself thriving and feeling healthy and vibrant and energized. It really is, quite powerful. And then these are some male health checks. I know the session is recorded, so I'm just minding the time because I want to do the desk yoga sequence with everyone. But, ultimately, going for the health checks, what I want to reiterate on these two slides isn't the specifics right now. I want to reiterate that you want to have a baseline. People are scared to go for their health screenings because they're scared of what they're going to find. Think of it as a map. When we know what your body is asking you to do, we have a compass, a direction in which to go. So if your cholesterol is really high, we know exactly in your diet what we need to work on. We need to work on the fats in your diet, right? If your blood pressure is really high, we know what to do. We need to look at the amount of salt you're having in your diet. We need to look at what's happening with your kidneys. And that way we have a baseline to monitor progress. So we can see, okay, if you cut out salt, if you exercise a little bit more, let's go and look at the blood pressure. And then you get all the good stuff when you start seeing that the blood pressures come down or whatever the case might be. So don't be scared of going for your health checks. So I'm just pausing on each of these so that the screen recording can grab it. But I mean, obviously the health checks are available. And if there's any questions around particular health checks, and we can talk about that in the Q&A session. And then breast exams, well, what I want to reiterate is men need to do breast exams too. Hey, 1 in 800 men are developing breast cancer. We did that in our breast cancer awareness talk last year. 1 in 800 men are developing breast cancer, and it's often only diagnosed in the final metastatic stage because people think that men don't get breast cancer. And there is just really a lot of estrogen and a lot of hormones in the food that we're eating. That is just the unfortunate truth. And men are developing more breast cancer, and it often starts either underneath the arm. Oh, my arm disappeared. Underneath the arm or behind the nipple. So it's really important, and we need to normalize that. And then, yeah, men on how to check your gonads in terms of testicular cancer awareness and what to look out for. And, the whole point is really building a relationship with our bodies, right? Familiarizing ourselves with our bodies, because if we familiarize ourselves with our bodies and check our bodies every month, we know that if there was something there or not there the month before, and some things there this month, we know that, you know, we are on top of it. Okay, so the importance of movement for physical and mental health, we cannot pour from an empty cup. Breathwork and desk yoga are two powerful practices that can significantly support the central nervous system, particularly in the context of sedentary working environments. So there is no single more powerful and simple daily practice to further your health and well-being than breathing, because we have to do it every day. Believe it or not, we breathe so superficially that sometimes we feel like we actually forget to breathe. That's what's happening in today's day and world. So we talk about the art of breathing, art awareness, being aware of the fact that we need to breathe so that we're not mindlessly breathing. And then regulation. How are we breathing? Are we breathing? There are so many different techniques, but my favorite is a 4-7-8, which is deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, and exhale for 8. We'll do that when we do the desk yoga sequence. And then breath transformation. How do you feel afterwards? Could be quite a nice practice in terms of reflecting in the morning with your lifesavers. So when you think of movement, we really need to, you know, encompass these parts. We're not moving our bodies enough. I'm not going to spend too much time on the nitty-gritty, but we are not moving our bodies enough. We are not allowing the blood to circulate to our brains. We're sitting in very poor or, you know, ergonomical positions that don't cater for good blood circulation in the body. And we're starting to see our bodies malfunctioning as a result of it, because it literally, we're not going to the bathroom enough. You know, people are struggling with constipation and headaches and all kinds of things, and it really can be because of lack of movement. Movement also stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is known as rest and digest, and gets us out of the state of fight and flight. Fight and flight constricts us, constricts our peristaltic movement. There's really quite a bit of a knock-on effect then. So without further ado, let's do a little desk yoga sequence. So I've actually recorded myself doing it because it's just so much easier than trying to position my laptop screen to show you the different positions. But we'll basically work on our neck, our shoulders, our wrists, and our spines. So for the sake of not distracting the video with 2 videos of myself, I'm going to just close my computer, and I just want you to you know, create some distance between the computer and yourself. And we're going to be working, I'll guide you through it, our spines and our wrists and our necks. So we'll start off by working on our necks. Okay, just moving your neck from side to side. Make sure your feet are both grounded on the ground, so they're not crisscross legged. Okay, deep breath in. And exhale. Be gentle with yourself. And these are exercises and stretches you can break up throughout the day. Great. Leaning your neck to one side. Beautiful. Rolling it around to the other. And rolling it around. Beautiful. Creating space at the back of the neck. Deep breath in and exhale. Lean over to one side. Don't pull too hard. Just a gentle stretch on the side of the neck. And over to the other side. Creating space. Sitting nice and upright on your sit bones. Interlace your hands. Place them behind your head. Just gently add some resistance and pull the neck down gently and ever so slightly. Beautiful. Extend and stretch up towards the sky. Beautiful. Nicely done. Coming back to center. We're now going to be working on our shoulders. A lot of you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Draw them up to your ears and relax them. Let's give them some love. Squeeze and relax. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, relax. Some of these stretches might seem a bit quick, but it's really just an introduction to desk yoga and, just to build memory in your mind so that you can remember at least 2 or 3 of these little movements that we can do throughout the day. Inhale and squeeze, and exhale and release. Now roll your shoulders forward. Really accentuate this movement. So giving yourself a nice back massage. Get into those sticky spaces. Roll forward, accentuate, and reverse. Roll all the way back. Beautiful. There we go. Nicely done. Wonderful. Now place your fingertips onto your shoulders and make circular motion in one direction. You can start in any direction because we'll reverse it and then gradually make the circle bigger and bigger. Beautiful. Good for the rotator cuffs. And then reverse. Boom, boom. Bigger and bigger and bigger. Wonderful. We all know this one. Stretch out the side of the arm. Good shoulder stretch. Inhale and exhale. Move over to the other side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Open up your arms, eagle arms. Now we're going to place one elbow over the other. So just be mindful which elbow goes on top because you'll change it up. You can interlace the palm of the hands or just keep the back of the hands together and just raise up to a 90-degree angle to the trunk of your body. This is quite a deep stretch. Open up, and every time you do it, you can hold it a little bit longer. Now place the other elbow on top. Either keep the back of the palms together or interlace the hands and raise up the elbows 90 degrees to your trunk of your body. And just go with what your body allows. Interlace the arms at the back. We're going to take this a little bit deeper in a moment. Deep breath in and exhale. Interlace the hands and stretch back. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Place the hands again, place them behind your head. Look up to the sky. Coming back to center, raise those arms up towards the sky. Nice big stretch. And draw the elbow down. Raise the elbow up and draw the other elbow down. Beautiful. Wonderful. We're now going to work on our spines. Move over to the edge of your seat. Place your hands on your knees. We're going to do some seated cat-cow. So inhale, extend, and exhale, curl like a cat. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, curl like a cat. This is a great one for blood circulation to the spine. Helps with kyphosis and lordosis. Kyphosis is otherwise known as hunchback. And lordosis is overextension of the lumbar spine, which can be causing quite a lot of lower back pain in individuals. And exhale, curl like a cat. Inhale, extend, exhale, curl like a cat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. Now keeping the knees faced forward, we're going to use the back of the chair in a moment just to twist from the hip in one direction. So twisting just from the hips. Use your chair as support. Keep your knees faced forward. Spinal twist really helps with digestion and eliminating waste and toxin from the body. Coming back to center. Exhale, twist over to the other side. Almost done. Lean over to one side, side stretch. Keep both sit bones grounded. Come back to center. The other side. Just go as far as what your body allows, making sure that both sit bones are grounded on the chair. Now we're going to just quickly work on our wrists because we type and type and type all day. Roll the wrists in one direction. Beautiful. And reverse them, the rolling. The other direction. If you've ever felt numbing of your pinky finger or tingling sensation, that's a sign that you're of carpal tunnel. So we need to get some blood circulating to our wrists, which we don't give enough love to. So we want to reverse that carpal tunnel. Palm facing up, draw back each finger. Ouch. And this is a painful one. Just stretch each finger. Again, in your own time, you can hold each of these positions a little bit longer. But in light of time, it's just an introductory video. Each finger, just to give your body a bit of love and movement. Shake it off and then just some counter movement. Reach up and flick your fingers. Flick, 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 flick. Keep flicking those fingers. Get the blood circulating. Wonderful. Almost done. Now back. Draw the wrists downward. Yes. Excellent. And that is our desk yoga. You can pop in the space and let me know how you feel. And I'm just going to quickly go through just a few healthy eating tips. So eating 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It is important to remember that dinner does not have to be the largest meal. Actually, they say that you should reverse it in, having your largest meal in the day so it equates to the amount of energy expenditure, because we often have these large meals at night and then we don't match it with the amount of energy expenditure to cater for that excessively large meal, right? Get colorful with your foods, control portion sizes, eat, have a starter, have some soup or something, just so that leptin can start releasing in the brain, that sense of satisfaction, because we eat really quickly and oftentimes we overeat because our body hasn't actually quite registered that we're eating food at that point in time, because we also get very distracted if we're eating in front of the television and stuff like that. Avoid rewarding yourselves with sugary snacks. This pattern can become a lifelong habit for people. Avoid heavy meals in the summer months, especially during hot days. Ensuring I'm just pausing here for a moment because I'm just minding the time and I would love to get to some Q&A there. Some extra tips: have a glass of water before your meal. Add variety, cut down on high sugar and refined carbohydrates after 4 p.m. is really important. Drink water instead of calories. Say later when you have trouble saying no. So especially with the festive season coming up, you might be visiting family where you have that auntie that's ladling food into your plate, insisting that you eat more. So if you feel you can't say no, try saying later instead. This way you won't seem impolite, and hopefully your host won't remember to press you to eat more later. Eat slowly, offer healthy dishes for healthy eating. You know, be the change you want to see in the world if you are hosting people. Brown rice, whole foods, those kinds of things. And yeah, we can follow up with some other further resources. And then food is fuel, you know. It's all about creating sustainable eating, you know, eating habits that flood over into our daily lives. This is not a diet and diet. It's a complete lifestyle change that should be implemented in every season. And then just to wrap up, you know, when we refuse to allow our difficulties to impress you, then they will not oppress you or depress you either. And then I always love this final thing. It's all going to happen. Things you like, things you don't like, things that are meh, things that are scary, things that are happy, things that are bittersweet, things in the form of events, experiences, and people. And amidst all these things, there are going to be times when you will question everything. Questions asked out of confusion, frustration, or feeling of helplessness. Tests taken that will teach you many valuable life lessons, both good and bad ones. And during times like these and otherwise as well, there is one thing which will help you across one shore to another. Having faith, having belief, a belief so strong, a belief in yourself, a belief in the hope you carry, a belief in the love you have in your heart, a belief in the very being of you, your essence, which is shaken but never perishable. Stick to these beliefs. They're the fuel that will power your soul in the different times of your life. Thank you.
Hi, Savannah.
I was just wondering if I'm still here.
Thank you so much for a very informative session. We really do appreciate your time today. And of course, to all our guests, thank you for taking the time to join us. Certainly, there was a lot of information, and we would just like to assure you we are going to be sharing the recording. And then, of course, if there are any questions, let's just see if there are any in the chat line that we may be able to. Okay, no, I see there are no questions in the chat line, but certainly we will share your details, and we hope to see all our guests again soon. And thank you very much once again. Keep well.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much, Karen. I really appreciate it. And again, the third book, so the books are Who Moved My Cheese? The other one was The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And the other one is The Body Keeps the Score by, oh, it's going all funny. The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. Yeah, but you'll see it in the recording when Karen sends it. And thank you.
And we'll certainly share those details again with all the listeners.
Absolutely. All righty. Have a wonderful.
Everybody have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much again for attending. Keep well then. Bye-bye.